Welcome to section 8.2a, multiplying rational expressions. Our objective is I can multiply rational expressions. Multiplication of rational expressions is a lot like what we've seen before. It's nothing new. Basically, we multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. So, let's go over one quick reminder of what we've done before. I'm going to try cross-canceling as much as possible because that's going to make our lives a lot easier. So I'm going to take a 5 out of the 10 and I'll get 2, and I'll take a 5 out of the 15 and I'll get 3. I'm going to take a 4 out of the 28 and I'll get 7. I'll take a 4 out of the 8 and I'll get 2. Multiply straight across the top and I'll get 4. Multiply straight across the bottom and I'll get 21. 4 over 21 is our answer. Okay, now let's take a look at one of these. I'm going to try and I can try cross-canceling now, but for this first one I won't. I'm going to multiply straight across the top to make sure we know how to do that first. 2 times 6 is 12. X times x is x squared, and it looks like I have a y cubed there. Multiply across the bottom. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times x squared is x squared. Y squared times y is y to the third. Now I can do some canceling. I've got an x squared on the top and the bottom. I've got a y to the third on the top and the bottom. And 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 12 4 times. And I'll be left with just 4. Hey, that's kind of nice. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. Now that you've tried it on your own, let's do it together. So what we'll want to do here is recognize, hey, I can turn this. This is x times x. This is 3 times negative 4. So I can factor this lower left one to be x plus 3, x minus 4. I can't factor the top of the left one, so it's going to just be 2x. Looks like I drew this all too big. Let me make it a little bit smaller. That way it'll leave myself some room. Now, I recognize, hey, this is difference of squares. This is going to come up quite a bit because they're my favorite. So, this will leave me with x plus 3, x minus 3 on the top, and on the bottom, it's going to be 6x squared. Now, once everything is factored, I want to see what I can cross-cancel. Looks like these x plus 3's can cross-cancel. Looks like this x can cancel with that x down there. And 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 goes into 6 3 times. So now I can multiply straight across the top. And I'll get 1 times x minus 3 is just x minus 3 over x minus 4 times 3 times x is 3x times x minus 4. And I'm done. Remember, I can only cancel if everything is multiplied together, and I've got these wonky, subtraction signs there. So which means I can't cancel out with those x's, but I can cancel out with the x's that are factored out of everything. So let's try this one together. Let's see what I can factor. Looks like I can factor this bottom left one. That's going to be x times x. This one's going to be 2 times 3. So that when we're all said and done, that's going to be x plus 2 times x plus 3. Let's see. Next, looks like I can factor out this top right one. That's a difference of squares, so that's x plus 2 times x minus 2. Then that looks like it's it. So in the top left I have a 5x, the bottom right I have a 10x. Now let's see what I can cross-cancel. Looks like these x plus 2's can cross-cancel. Looks like I can cancel out these x's. 5 goes into 10 twice. 5 goes into 5 once. And I can multiply across the top. When I do that, I'll get 1 times x minus 2 is just x minus 2. And on the bottom, I'll get 2 times x plus 3. Go ahead and try this next one on your own. Now that you've tried this one on your own, let's do it together. So, let's see what I can factor out. Looks like on this one, I can factor out this top left. I'm going to take an n out of everything on the top left, and that'll give me n times n minus 7 in the top left. In the bottom left, this is going to be n times n, and 1 is 1 times 1. So that's going to give me m plus 1 times n plus 1. On this right, looks like I can't factor anything out, so that's just going to be n plus 1 over 2n. Now I can do some cross-canceling. I can cross-cancel these n plus 1s. I can cross-cancel these n's. And I'll be left with n minus 7 over 2 times n plus 1. Okay, let's try this one together. Let's see. Looks like I can factor that bottom, excuse me, 1 second, there we go. Looks like I can cancel this bottom one, this bottom left one. That's going to be x times x. And it's going to be negative 4 times 3. In the top right, that's a difference of squares again. So that means that I'm going to have x minus 4 times x plus 3, the bottom right, or the bottom left, 2x on the top. Then I'm going to have x plus 3 times x minus 3 on the top right over 6x squared. Now I can do some cross-canceling. It's my favorite part after all. I can cross-cancel these x plus 3's. I can cancel out the square of the x in the bottom right with the x from the 2x. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 2 1 time. And I'm left with x plus 3, x minus 3 over 3x times x minus 4. Okay, one last one. Go ahead and pause the video and try this last one on your own. Now that you've tried it on your own, let's do it together. This is by far, in my opinion, the hardest one of this whole thing. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take this one step at a time. So, let's see what I can factor out. On the top left looks like I can take a 4 out of everything. So that's going to be 4 times 4 minus x. On the bottom, looks like I can take a 2 out, so I'm going to do that. And that'll give me x minus 6. 2 times x minus 6. Now on the right, I can factor the top. This is x and x. This is negative 6 and positive 1 to give me x minus 6, x plus 1 over a perfect difference of squares, x plus 4, x minus 4. Let's see what we can cancel out before we move on. So it looks like I can take these x minus 6's, of course. I can cancel this 2. 2 goes into 2 1 time. 2 goes into 4 twice. And you might think that that's it, but what if I factor out a negative 1 out of this guy right here? So I'm going to do that. So once again, this will be a negative 2 now, since I'm factoring out a negative. That x will become positive, so that'll be a positive x, and that 4 on the inside will become negative. This will just be over 1 since we canceled everything on the bottom. This will be times x plus 1 on the top, x plus 4, x minus 4 on the bottom. These x minus 4s will cancel. And looks like I'm all done now. Negative 2 times x plus 1 over x plus 4. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.